Bias, opinion, and fact are three factors that affect all sources, regardless whether they're primary or secondary. We'll start with bias. Bias is where the author or the photographer or the person who's giving the account is directly linked to one side of the argument. This is very common in wars where there's two sides, in sport where there's two sides saying what happened. Um, if you look across history, it's full of arguments where there's bias and opinion and fact infecting the argument. So a good example of bias would be the Saipan incident in 2002, where Roy Keane, the Irish footballer, was sent home by the Republic of Ireland manager Mick McCarthy over an argument that they had in front of the team. Both of them subsequently have published books saying what happened in this argument, but both of the accounts differ. And some of the players wrote their own accounts about what happened who witnessed the argument, and their accounts differed again. And the reason there's bias is because people have an inherent interest in their own arguments that they don't look bad. So people like warriors and politicians, when they're publishing their own accounts of what happened, they want to portray themselves in the best light so that when they're looked back on, they're not demonized throughout history. Opinion is where someone would say that I think that this is the way, but the problem is they don't say I think before it often enough. So the example I've given is One Direction. Some people would think that One Direction are the best band in the world, but there's no fact to back that up. But a fact about One Direction would be that there are five members of the band. And this is where history can come into arguments, especially in written sources. Someone could say, in looking back again at a politician or to do with a new device that had come in, like the steam engine, saying that was the greatest invention in the world. That was someone's opinion at the time, but it wasn't a fact. There's no way you can quantify what is the greatest invention in the world. So it's important when you're looking through your sources and building your history arguments of what actually happened that you disseminate between opinion, fact, and check if there's any bias within the argument.